This masterclass will talk about how I use digital technologies so that my high school students can discover who they are and what it means to be creative by combining art with my physics curriculum. My name is Ian Fogarty. I teach chemistry, physics, and math to 16 to 18-year-olds at Riverview High School. It's a public school on the east coast of Canada. My students find comfort in wearing an identity of STEM and are very good at finding quick answers to tests and analyzing the results of a lab. However, they tend to get anxious when they live on the edge of the unknown, so we do year-long art projects that challenge their ideas of STEM and creativity. Tip number 1. Teach kids who are in front of you today, not content from the past. DNART is a wall panel of LED rings that represents a short portion of DNA. Motion sensors capture the movement of students as they walk down the hall and causes the light to scroll along a DNA sequence of insulin. Leo is an intelligent interactive light sculpture that mimics human emotion when it is triggered by human presence. Each of these require coding, electrical engineering, light and color, echolocation, along with laser cutting and 3D printing. These high-tech tools make students feel innovative, that they are doing something new, unique, and special, that you're teaching them today. Tip number 2. Technology helps students collaborate and create. As a teacher, I purposely build ample chances for students to make decisions as a group and have creative freedom. During the pandemic, half of my students were at home while the others were face-to-face. Video conferencing and shared collaborative documents let students offer suggestions, evaluate, and then make decisions. At first, the students were quick to move at their first possible solution. But as a teacher, I need to have a careful process to slow them down to review. The digital technology meant we could remind ourselves of our thinking and decide if we still thought the same way. The isolation of the pandemic showed us how important it is for students to build community. Tip number 3 is to bring students together in a meaningful way. In the art projects, I would break up students into expert groups so that some became expert solderers, others focused on designing the parts, or perhaps working on the code. Having all the information in one shared location and connecting them all together with a live once-a-week meeting meant that the builders could make suggestions to the people designing the shape of the parts and give feedback to the coders, even when students were gathered around the building or around town. Tip number 4, bring the outside world in. Many times, local experts are willing to mentor a new generation, but they do have their own responsibilities. Using video conferencing and asynchronous tech, guest experts can interact with students without giving up a whole day of work. We purposely have our weekly meetings at lunch so that our guests can attend during their lunchtime and not miss work. Technology brings the outside world into the classroom so they can follow their creative paths. I work hard to understand how each tool will impact how students interact with the world and with each other. Effective pedagogies in the digital world begins with a deep understanding of the learning tasks and then using a whole variety of tools for the right job.